Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is War 4 of Season 41, and we're up against NewN today. Today I'm bringing in Dr. Doom, Galan, and Black Widow Clairvoyant, and this is literally the first time I've ever used Dr. Doom in War. When I was in my old alliance, I never really assigned him to myself, but when you've got someone else assigning you, you try out different champs, I guess. So let's see if he's any good. Today we are going up path 3 and starting off with that IHulk, and then moving on into the second section, got the Nimrod and the Surfer, then I'm taking that infamous Iron Man and the Peni on Boss Island. So we'll start off with this IHulk. It's just a straightforward Galan fight really, just getting up as much harvest as possible and trying to take him down. Good thing about using Galan here is that his basic attacks do barely anything. So by the time you throw off harvest, he'll have barely any persistent charges at all, and he, hopefully won't go unblockable. Apart from that, there's not really too much to say about this fight. I think it all goes pretty smoothly. Just throw off a couple harvests. I think he's a bit stubborn at the start here with his specials. And personally, I tend to like to go to my SP2 with Galan. I feel like per bar of power it does a bit more damage than this SP1, especially when you throw it during harvest and you get those 9 incinerates, and it just helps tick down a little bit afterwards. I mean, you'll see here that after I throw this L2, you stack up those incinerators and they just keep on ticking him down a little bit, and once we get there, I just need to build up, a very small harvest again at 100 and throw that off, and the fight's over. I mean, it's not that much of a difference overall, but I just kind of prefer it, and that closes out the fight pretty safely. For this next fight, we are going in with Black Widow for this Nimrod. I took it last war. There's something that goes wrong at the start, so I'll explain that, and then after that I'll fast forward it, just because it's not the most interesting fight and it's about 3 minutes long. This is a rank 5 Nimrod as well, so my rank 3 Claire is going to struggle her way through in terms of damage. It's a very safe fight though. My plan is just to go for an SP3 with 20 charges. If anything does start to go wrong, I can always go back to an L2 and heal up using that. Main thing, as before, is don't switch modes. That would be very stupid, and I personally am not going to push him to an L2 because it could just completely delete you. So here is what happens when it goes wrong. I parry heavy a couple times, and for some reason it just doesn't go through as an input. I'm not sure what happened, but I felt like I was charging heavy right away. It means that we get slammed with an SP1, get the energy vulnerability put on me, and take about half my health. So I throw my L3 right away, and I just play catch up a little bit with my willpower healing as I throw some L2s. And yeah, I'll just fast forward it from here. It's a pretty safe fight to get back under control. All I need to do is throw some L2s and heal up. But yeah, apart from that, I'll let you watch this one. I'll see you in the next. And here I just bait out this last special and finish him off with a combo. And then we move on to the next fight, which is Dr. Doom versus this Surfer. It's an incredibly safe fight. I'm just going to be going through SP3 rotations because, Doom doesn't do any damage against Surfer with his Incinerate, so there's no real benefit of going for the L2. He can glance if he gets any armor ups through, but I doubt that will happen with the control that Doom has over this fight. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to be keep heavying him, staggering any buffs that get through. Going to be trying to get to my SP3 as soon as possible so I can lock down the fight. Block baiting heavies just to stop him using his power means I can go into the Doom cycle a bit easier, and I managed to get off the SP3 at a good point, and then we'll just get out of that and lock him down. I'm sure you've all seen the Doom cycle hundreds of times, so I don't think I really need to explain that bit, but you can just see how easily he shuts it down, really. And already back up my next SP3, managed to throw it off while I've still got the Fury buff up, and this should kill, or if not, the combo afterwards, so pretty safe. And that closes out the fight with an L1. So for this next fight, Galan versus a rank 5 infamous Iron Man, I know that Galan's Harvest at max does just under 200,000 damage, and I can see that this Iron Man has 194,000, so basically my plan is just to go straight to max Harvest, throw it, and then it's a guaranteed KO. I know you can do this fight with 2 short harvests, but if you end up dashing back a ton in between them, then you can end up, having to do more than is necessary. So I figured, don't worry about the healing at all. Let him be at 100% if he needs to be. Throw off my harvest at max, and it's a guaranteed KO. So going into this fight, I have an advanced power boost because I want to be able to manage strike counter, block penetration as best as I can. It means that I can start the fight by throwing heavy, which means I will be on around 1.5 bars of power, and I'll have only taken 1 heavy off my strike counter. The other thing with the strategy that I'm doing is that during the actual fight, once I get over 100 mass, I won't be able to heavy attack without starting my harvest. So it means that I've got to manage strike counter, block penetration, using only medium and light attacks, so I tend to block hits when I can. It just gives me a bit of extra power. I'm also going to be blocking specials just to be safe. But yeah, so we're going into this fight, and immediately throw my heavy, gives me a bit of power, and then start building up my mass. So IDoom can glance you in this fight, but because Galan has the tactic, it means that you can pretty much take away his armor buff for the whole time. And all I'm really doing is watching my counter, making sure that I'm throwing specials at the right time. The advanced power boost in this fight really helps you keep the strike counter under control. And in general, I'm going to be trying to bait out SP1s, find them just easier to deal with, especially since he won't be going unblockable. He goes unblockable when he activates his aura, but if you've taken his armor away, or if you have enough unique buffs, he doesn't go unblockable at all. Sometimes he gets a bit stingy, so I think he does go to SP2 here, and I'm just going to take it on block. If he started getting more block penetration charges, or if I started getting pretty low on health, I'd probably start trying to dex that. I can do it, but sometimes in war it's just safer to accept the item use at the end. Yeah, he's only gone up to 3 charges at this point, so doing not that much damage through block. And I'm up to 700 mass now. I'm thinking about getting into harvest soon. I know that once you're around 750, 800, you can build up the last bit with harvest. So I bait out heavy here, throw mine, and all I need to do now is just get that last bit of mass. And at this point, I could have thrown it, but, better safe than sorry. I'll just do a bit more, throw my L1 up to max mass, and IDoom goes down. Again, a bit of block damage to heal up, but very safe fight if you play it well, and I was quite happy with my strategy there. And last fight of this war, we've got this Peni Parker. Any Peni fight really with Galan is not too difficult. All I'm going to be doing is getting to a bar of power, taking down a shield, whichever comes first, and then throwing off my harvest. I think sometimes it's better to start off the fight by just hitting her normally, because before she gets any of her spider charges, she can't auto block, and it's kind of just worth it just to get up to a bar of power before she can even auto block you, and then you can focus on taking down the shield once you've got your bar of power, because with Galan, mine's max sig as well, so you build up really quickly, as you can see. And then pretty much perfect timing, shields down, max harvest. I just need to get this last little bit of her sync shield, and then now I can go for a heavy, throw my special. This Peni has about 240,000 health, I think it was, so the first harvest doesn't quite take it down. What I want to do now is really rush to my L1. I mean, not that it'll be bad if I don't, but it would be nice to have gotten a heavy here, but she doesn't go for it in time. I throw my heavy, it gets resisted. All this means is I need to take down her shield fully again, just for that 10%. So I'm going to end up doing massive overkill, and I'm probably going to be throwing off a max harvest, so 200,000 damage for this last 9%. And she just goes for that. I now just need my heavy right into L1 harvest, and 199,000 for 6% health. Again, bit of an overkill, but couldn't get that heavy in when I needed to. So yeah, that sums up my war. We ended up losing this one 7-2, so it's probably our first not so great war of the season, but we're doing really well in general. Had a rough start to this season schedule wise, so we're hoping to bounce back next time. And yeah, well, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.